Let's now shift our attention to what is unfolding in Turkey. The bugle has been sounded and the countdown is presently on. And it has kick-started the race for the Turkish presidency. On Tuesday, the incumbent president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, announced his election manifesto. And on top of his agenda is the Turkish economy. The 69-year-old Turkish leader, who's been at the helm of affairs in Turkey for over 2 decades, and now he said that he wants to stay on in power and is hoping to win another term. But the road ahead is not going to be a smooth one, as Erdogan is going to face the stiffest challenge yet, as 6 opposition parties have now joined hands against the ruling government in the upcoming polls. The turf was not as difficult for Erdogan just a few months ago. It was the devastating earthquake that seems to have changed the trajectory of Turkish politics. Now remember, more than 50,000 people were killed. There was devastation that was worth billions of dollars, and it collectively hit the already slumping Turkish economy pretty hard. Recent opinion polls have now hinted at a sharp dip in support for Erdogan. His popularity ratings show a similar decline, just as the Turkish lira has also been declining. The official inflation rate at this moment stands at over 50%. But academics say that it is actually well over 100%. Erdogan and his party have also vowed to bring down the inflation numbers to single digits, but that is a promise that the opponents have also made. And what's more, on announcing his manifesto, Erdogan took a particularly hard stance against the West, the same region that has ramped up immediate support for Turkey when the earthquake had struck.
Batı'nın durumu iyi değil. Vay haline.
The situation of the West is not good. None of the powers that have risen economically but have no political root are or will be available to play Turkey's mission based on justice and fairness. The proxy wars waged by the imperialists through terrorist organizations are also coming to an end.
Now, over the years, Erdogan has been accused of taking Turkey towards a more authoritarian route. He has in fact jailed his opponents. For instance, last December, the mayor of Istanbul, Ekrem İmamoğlu, was sentenced to over 2 years in prison and was placed on a political ban for insulting public officials in a speech. And he was seen as the biggest contender as Erdogan. Now, for the 14th of May polls, the opposition candidate facing Erdogan is the 74-year-old Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, and his track record is not that very promising. In his kitty are a string of election defeats under the Republican People's Party and a rather mild tone in comparison with the strident rhetoric that Erdogan churns out in every single one of his election rallies. But what the opposition and its face is counting on in these presidential and parliamentary polls is the unity of 6 against 1, and with that, the building frustration of the Turkish people against Erdogan's policies.
We want a fairer system, a fairer government, a government that does not trample on rights, that behaves fairly with everyone.
We have to change the old system and bring democracy, justice and law. We want to be able to express our ideas freely. We want the economy to recover. We want a life without hunger, without poverty. A life where children do not go to bed hungry.